Testing, testing. Are we up? Are we up? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Are we up and running or not? Or has everybody been shut off? Still down. No, I'm up at my end. Stream is up. I think you have to maybe look in a new chat. We're back. One, two, three. Yeah, we're up again. Sorry, but that's 100% my fault. Totally 100% my fault. I'm sorry. I brought the laptop upstairs and it kept its connection to the downstairs Wi-Fi instead of switching to the third floor Wi-Fi. My fault. My bad. What's the expression? Can't blame Twitch on this one, really. It's totally my fault. I know the system here has been behaving well when I run it properly, but that was my bad. Too strong. That's better. Too light. Let's touch that. Are we back or is everybody lost? People are waiting over on the old stream. I'm on the old thread. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go. Tiny bit too dark, I think. Back off a little. Dave's all like, exactly, I don't know what's going on, just leave it. Do the colors change after drying? That's an interesting question. They don't. The colors don't change, but the way they appear changes. Maybe the best way to think about it. You think about your jeans. Jeans are blue, but if you make something wet on your jeans, the color doesn't change, but the depth, the way it looks, changes. I've just peed my pants. You see my point? When the paper is wet, the colors do have a richer and more saturation than when they're dry. So yeah, we have to think about that and remember that. Oops, I got a mess of pigment here. Let's get rid of that before it makes trouble. So yeah, the wet print and the dry print have a different appearance. The wet one definitely looks more saturated than the dry one. And in the early days for when you're a printmaker, that's a bit disappointing. Because when you're making it, oh good, that's a good rich color. And you dry it and you think, where did it go? What happened to it? So it's part of the experience, part of remembering what's going to happen. But it's going to lose brightness. It's going to lose brightness and saturation when it's dry. Excuse me, sorry about that. But the colors don't change. It's just the saturation that changes. We don't obsess about the colors and stuff too much. There's a printmaking friend of mine here in Japan. He lives in a different part of the country. He makes prints, and for example, when he puts them on his website, he goes to all these steps. Please make sure the color of your monitor may vary, and this might not be exactly the same color that you get when you receive the print, stuff like this. And yeah, there's that factor too. But even when we're making a print, I'm sitting here in a room right now that's flooded with natural light from my left-hand side. I've got a little fluorescent thing here shining down on the bench. And yet the room light here, these are big bright LEDs. And when people come here to film, TV companies, the guy just holds his head in his hand, oh my God, what am I going to do about the white balance here, The point being that what you see in a particular color under these lights, it changes. If I turn off the LEDs and just look at it under fluorescent, or if we close the curtains, or if it's nighttime, we see basically completely different colors. The temperatures of the colors all change. It's all different. So as printmakers, what are we supposed to do? Which one of these colors are we supposed to choose as the basis here? Because I'm going to send it to you in wherever you are. You're going to open the package in your own light, your own system, your own environment. It's going to be totally different. So I'm not saying I've given up on it, but I'm not going to sweat this to a point where it's not controllable. Everybody's going to see these things under different lighting conditions with different aged eyes in different color temperature environments. It's going to look very, very different. And I can't control those things. So all I do is sit here under whatever light I've got and make a color balance and an appearance that looks pleasant to me. Oops, I got 2 copies there. Look at that. Oops. And more than that, I can't control. So more than that, I don't even try to control. I understand there's a Pantone world out there. People in commercial printing, when they're printing on a different kind of paper with a different kind of Photoshop file, and they've got to do their Pantone matching and all that kind of stuff. Whatever, I get that, and okay, they can do that, but we don't. I can't say obsess it. We don't try and control it to that degree. I think the burns smooth enough. I don't need that paper a little. Let's see. Yeah, we're okay. We can go straight. I get using that stuff sometimes too much as a crutch. there's the first 20. Where does it live? Excuse me a second. So, it's done. Suzanne Ross, yeah, she's a friend. She's a friend. I haven't got much chance to talk to her recently. She's up there in her world with her work and her kids, and we're down here. Yeah, we've been together. We've done, I don't know, what's the word? I don't know, maybe a department store has a little exhibition of traditional craftsmen and stuff like that. And there's what they like to do is they like to include one or two foreigners for added, what's the word? Color commentary, I don't know, whatever. So she and I get asked for that kind of thing sometimes. And once we did it together just a while ago back in Takashima, foreigners doing traditional Japanese crafts and stuff. She's a nice lady. I like her. No chance to spend more time with her, of course. You know. So I think she's been here maybe even longer than me. I don't know. About the same. How many is he printed? There's 80 copies in this current batch. There's no, that's not definitive for any reason. Just that's whatever we thought we needed to get ahead of the orders. It should do us till the end of, I don't know, I can't say, end of December. It changes so much day by day. How long to complete one print? It's a completely meaningless question. I'm sorry, the prints are all so different. There's prints with just one color. There's prints with 90 colors. There's large ones, small ones. We were talking about this yesterday. This particular batch of prints, we're doing a run of 80 here. I'm doing a run of 80. And it's 6 impressions. The blue goes twice. Then the black, sort of a semi-key block, the one with the feathers. Then brown, then green. So there's 6 impressions on this. It's 80 copies. And if I had nothing else doing, if I was just a printer sitting here to get to work in the morning, I would have made the paper moist the night before, get it all cut to shape, and made the paper moist the evening before leaving, and come to work in the morning. And a run of 80 of these with 6 impressions, that would be about a day's work, peaceful, relaxed day's work. We're talking about the printing, assuming the carving's already done. Because this one's pretty easy as they go, you know. You can see, what did it take, you know, that's like 15 seconds or something. So honestly speaking, it wouldn't even be really a full day's work, you know. The 2 impressions of the background color, a couple of hours, then these other ones maybe not even an hour each, 80 copies. It's not a minute per color, I don't think. So to make 80 of these hours would be a very easy, peaceful day's work. For a print that sells in the shop for $30. The general rule of thumb here that we're trying to work towards, we're not sure how it worked in the old days, traditional days, because we don't have figures and facts of their bookkeeping. But the rule of thumb we're trying to work towards is the cost of the printer is 1/6 of the cost of the print at retail level. We think we're working towards that goal. So if it was a $30 print, the printer's cost would be 1/6 of that. So what's 30 divided by 6? I don't know. 30 divided by 2 is 15, divide that by 3 is 5. So yeah, $5. The printer would get $5 each for these. That's a little on the high side, I think, because that would mean for a run of 80, that would mean a $400 printer's bill for the day. And that's over. So a print like this, the Owl, is one that will be on the high end of our profitable scale. Which is that's right, you've got hits and you've got losers, and you make extra money on the ones that pay for the ones you don't make money on. So. Do we keep a record of the pick and mix? No, not at all. It's our job to when you come, we don't keep a record at all. These blocks are going to be washed off and cleaned up, put in the shelf. When we come back to it again, we've got our color sample. We keep a few samples around. They're not even actually for print. This is not even that definitive. For stuff like Jed's work, we have a definitive sample, one that he has signed off on, and this is the master from here on in. For a print like this, we don't do that because it's a bit easy going. But whatever, I'm coming back next week to do some more of these. Look at this, okay, get the bowls out and mix some pigment again from scratch. It's related to what we said the other day about the Pantone thing. We're not trying to be scientifically accurate to the last RGB dot to try and figure out what color to put on here. The other factor is too, different printers have different tastes. Amy-san did some of these last week, and as I told you, her background color, she put a bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more sumi in there. She wanted it a bit darker. To me, it was a bit gloomier. So it's a mixed answer. There's times we're really strict about it, and there's times we're not so strict about it. When Jed's looking over our shoulder, when I'm making prints that he's designed and that he is, like I said, he's signed off on, then as much as possible we try and get exactly the color. A small print like this we're much less critical of. Although having said that, you can see they're coming out pretty much the same, one by one by one by one. I went in for time, no rush, right? Still early. Yeah. I'll be finished this sepia, I think, easily. How long do you think these last before they sell out? I don't know. We're just going to keep making it. It's not going to sell out, but we're still not at the point where we've got them in the shop. These prints still aren't in the Asakusa shop yet. At the moment, the out printing, we're just trying to keep up with online orders. In fact, this is the batch now. This is the batch where we finally cross over. When these go to Ome, I'll be sending them to Ome tonight for packing, so they'll be back here in the shop on Wednesday. It'll be the first time we've had the print in the shop. So if you're going to be in Asakusa, you say next week, let me know before you try this, because as I said, there may or may not be some here. So please write to me and let me know your schedule. These prints have yet to appear in the shop. Well, that reminds me too, I could mention, speaking about Twitch people being in the shop, we got a visit yesterday, Friday. I've already forgotten what day it was. Was it yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago, Friday. I know the young man who's been working on the bot here in this thread, he may be here today, I don't know. He came by the shop for a print party. And he'd made a reservation, but I hadn't put two and two together, recognizing the Twitch name and the real name. And, he's a real nice guy, very pleasant person, and thank you very much for the work he's doing on this bot, and a very nice couple. Made their own prints. What's the word? What's the expression? IRL in real life. So, meeting Twitch people in real life. Again, I don't know the handle. I'm sorry. All I can say is it's the young man who is working on the bot here. I don't remember the names that go with the different things here. You're talking about those menchi katsu shops. They're the bane of the neighborhood, My God, there's so much trouble for the shops nearby. It doesn't affect us much because we're a good, 50 meters away, maybe more, from those katsu shops. But the shops nearby, it's endless trouble for them. People buy that oily, greasy food, walk into other shops while they're eating it, or they hang around in front of the other shops in huge crowds. People can't get into the other shops. The Merchants Association is trying to control it. They've put signs and banners and flags up. Don't stand here eating. Don't walk with the greasy food. Don't take it into other shops. But if we were next door to that place, my God, I don't know what we'd be doing, You're laughing, but it's a real problem. People are paying staggeringly high rents down there, and yet their customers are blocked from coming in because of the crowds that stand outside. It's no laughing matter for those people down there. The nearby shops, We joke about that again here. We're talking about people waiting in line to get into Mokuhankan in the morning and blocking the nearby shops, Like it's not a problem we have yet, but you see it here. They might be shopping them all. When Krispy Kreme opened up here a couple of years ago, they had a huge problem with that because it became a staggeringly popular thing for a while. And every Krispy Kreme outlet had like 40, 50, 100 people waiting in every morning. And they're blocking all the nearby shops. So they had to hire, security cops and stuff like this to try and herd them into sensible lines. The Asakusa rent situation is changing, I got an email last night from one of our friends, collectors. He said, Dave, I just saw this newspaper story. The rent is going up in the Asakusa district by a factor of 16. And what he was talking about was the area just in front of the temple. The rents have staggeringly increased due to increased taxation. And the government's finally getting wise. The landlord here, all the land around this district is owned by Sensoji, by the temple. And they charge, rent for the lands and stuff, of course. But they themselves don't pay any taxes because they're, religious. So the Tokyo government has wised up to this, seeing these staggering amounts of money that flow through this district, all tax-free for the temple. I don't know what they do with it. They must just have like 1 million gold bars stacked up in the basement. I've got no idea what they do with it. Anyway, so the Tokyo government increased the land taxes and the business taxes on the district. So Sensoji has responded by putting up the rents they charge, in some cases by a factor of 16. You can Google it. If you just Google, for example, Sensoji rent 16 or something, you'll see any number of news stories that in the English newspapers here that talk about it. I don't know. But it hasn't affected us here directly yet, because although Sensoji owns the land on which this building is built, our landlord is not Sensoji. Somebody else owns the building. Little old lady owns the building. We pay her rent. But of course, as her rent gets increased, so will ours eventually as the leases get renewed and stuff. And we would never want to be down in that area anyway. My God, right in front of Sensoji, it's impossible. No way. Our rent here at the moment is really quite reasonable because we got a special deal on it. The building was decrepit it wasn't rentable. It was just 2 abandoned rats' nests and stuff like that. So we get a real good deal because we agreed to renovate it ourselves at our own cost. So we've got very low rent for a while, and in return we have to, build stuff, add lights, new electrical system, build a toilet, So we're adding value to the building, which we will have to pay more rent for in future, obviously. But it meant that during our startup time, the first 3, 4, 5, 6 years, which is the most critical time for a new business, during that startup time, we had very, very low running costs. And still do. So try to build a business as stable as we can, get ready for the day when we have to pay real rent. Too many bowls in too many places here. You go to Sensoji for your omikuji, it says here. My fiance and I get omikuji there sometimes. That's a mistake, Coming to Sensoji for omikuji. He's talking about the fortunes. You put your 100 yen in the box, draw a number, pull a piece of paper, the fortune that matches the number. And Sensoji has quite a reputation, really bad reputation for having, what's the word? Not dangerous omikuji, but bad news omikuji. This is definitely not a 50-50 chance here. Those of you who read Japanese, if you can read a bunch of Japanese blogs about this, there's quite been a lot of discussion about this. And there's 2 viewpoints about it. A cynical viewpoint, which actually I hold to, is that Sensoji manipulates this on purpose. They put many more bad fortunes in the system than they do good fortunes. And there are some real bad ones, like as in, drop everything and head for the hospital because you're in big trouble, that kind of stuff, And I think it's almost criminal to do that to people. But the cynical viewpoint is that the reason they're doing this, and again, this is just my own guess, I have no knowledge of how it really works, is they're doing more bad fortunes than good, because you go up there, you put your money in the box, you get a good fortune, you walk away, you're happy. You get a bad fortune, there are people who will, what they then do is they go to the side window and pay some extra money for prayers, to get, make sure this is all going to work out okay. So I think, I might be wrong, whatever, but I think Sensoji is driving that, It's well known here, Sensoji's omikuji are much more difficult than other temples. And yet people still, at New Year's time too, they line up by the hundreds of thousands, literally the hundreds of thousands, to get in here and make their donation and get their fortune. I think I heard the question ding, right? It's a racket, it's religion, it's a racket. Not to step on anybody's toes, but those guys have it made, As I said, there's probably just stacks of gold bars in the basement, Where are we? Twitch questions, something in the box. Oh, it's a question with an image. Okay, general, nay, okay. It's Mr. Madness, nay? What's your new name? Camilo Madness? He's got a question about a new project he's thinking about starting, and he showed an image. It's an existing print. It's not actually a woodblock print. It's printed matter. It's offset printing. But it was not done very well. It was misregistered, and he's asking, should I reproduce the misregistration, or should I do it as it is? Whatever, I think for me that's a no-brainer. You fix it. The idea about making these prints is we want to make them as beautiful as possible. There's no reason why you should reproduce a mistake made by some commercial offset printer some years ago. Make it nice, make it beautiful, make it better. Next video, please. I know. It's right near the top of my list. It just gets pushed down every day. Next video is all planned. It's not scripted, but it's worked out what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. It's just time. I'm sorry. It's just time. I had to do all the print parties last 2 days because one of our staff booked off sick. That was going to be YouTube preparation day, but it didn't work out. And then I got the key block for the second print in next year's subscription series. Just came in from our carver in Kobe. I've got to now do the color separations, and that's really difficult this time. So I don't know, I'm sorry. I want to do the YouTube tonight, but I probably can't. Dreaming of a day when I can just be the YouTube guy here. That's all I do. That would be so much fun for a while anyway. Oh dear, are we done? Oh no, that's 3. Okay, that's 3 groups of 20. One more group left. Okay. No problem time, right? 9:07. Right. Excuse me, sorry guys. We used to have a cat, yeah, so that was Boots Chan. She's long gone now. She's been dead, I don't know, probably 10 years maybe, I'm not sure. No, not 10 years, but too much water there. Going to be a video about the new gift prints. No, I don't think so. Next video is going to be about block wear and tear. It'll be, you know, we did the Great Wave series up to 15. The next video is going to be Great Wave number 16, about the block wear on the Great Wave videos. Then the next video after that is going to be introducing the new series, next year's new series. Oops. Do you want people visiting? Yeah, people come in the shop all the time. They come look at my workbench at the back, and assuming I'm here, you know, most days, 99% of the time. People come in the shop all the time. They come up the stairs, let's take a picture together. I wiped it off, guys. There's no orange in the print. I wiped it off. But yeah, people visit all the time. We had three ladies yesterday. 3 ladies yesterday visited. They've been making their own prints. They went to a workshop up in Yamanashi Prefecture for 5 weeks, where there's a printmaking session. It's called Mi Lab, MI-LAB. They were there for the past 5 weeks, and they came in. They're leaving the country tomorrow. So they came in to show me the prints they made and chat for a while. And this had happened, there was no other people here, so we spent an hour or so looking at their prints, talking, chatting, taking pictures. It's a young game, whatever. It all depends. There's busy days and there's light days. And if we're here, we're here. I can't even count how many selfies I'm in each day. I don't know. I don't know what people do with them, I guess. I don't know. It's fun, I mean, it's an ego thing, being sort of this center of attraction. People come up the stairs, they visited Japan, and I'm on the list of things they want to do. And that's a bit sort of surreal, This is a country, like, there's 125 million people here. There's centuries of tradition and all kinds of incredible things to do here. And yet when somebody's visiting, maybe they've got, 10 things they're going to do or 20 things they're going to do. And I'm on that list. And that's really cool. It's an ego, wow. I have to sort of forget it sometimes, I'm just a guy making prints. There's nothing really special about what we do. But yeah, it's fun doing those things. Maybe at some point it gets too much and it stops being fun anymore. I don't know. But the current level of attention we're getting and of enjoyment of our prints, it's still fun. So. People ask for pictures. Of course they do. I know. Actually, there's two kinds, roughly sort of two kinds. There's people who are aggressively interesting. Hey, Dave, can we have a picture together? Which is, of course, I say, okay, good, fun. Then there's the kind of person, you can see what's happening. They chat with you for a while and they're embarrassed and they're sort of holding their phone in their pocket. And you know what they want, but they're too polite is the proper word for it. They're too polite to ask, So then I ask a little bit, can we get a picture together or something, And their face lights up. Yeah, sure. So it's really good fun playing with this. I don't know, what's the current mood in society? Is it polite to ask people for pictures together? It's sort of a new thing, isn't it? So and there are people who clearly think it's not so polite, or they don't want to bother me. So it's just fun. Who cares? Bit more oil there. It's a new oil applicator. It's shooting a bit too much. It's camellia oil, for those of you who didn't catch what we were saying earlier. Just a very light film of it. It gets into the pad, so the pad actually gets saturated with the oil. But not enough so that loose oil comes onto the... YouTube star, I'm not in that. I mean, the people who get millions and bajillions of views, I'm a YouTube star level Z. Koho Shoda. Do I recognize this name? Not really. Koho Shoda. Is this somebody who's in the Sosaku world, the creative world? They do their own designing, cutting, and printing? Because I know nothing about the people in that world. Wait, what's this? You dress so well, do you find a stark contrast from your style to the Japanese people? What? I'm a slob. When I go on the train here, I feel like a slob. Japanese people in general are dressed really, really nicely, very carefully. And I'm just this Canadian slob. Have we got something backwards here? No, really, with no sarcasm at all. I wear nothing but the dumb sweatshirt and old jeans. And yet almost everybody in society around me has dressed with care and thought. It's something I'm really, really, really bad at. Absolutely bad at. Riverboat Biwa, Kohoshoda. I don't know the name. I know it sounds like maybe what you've got is one of those artists in Kyoto who makes prints of Kyoto scenery for the tourist market there. I don't know much about that group. There was Tomikichiro. There's a whole bunch of them that do Kyoto scenery views. It's sort of not part of our world. I don't really know much about it. I'm sorry. Talking about the new, Jed's 8-forked serpent and Blood and Thunder. Blood and Thunder, that's the one. Jed, of course, wants me to do Blood and Thunder, and I had to say no at the moment. For one thing, this came up after we had locked in the 6 Kickstarter ones and announced them. If he had given me that image before we had locked those in, both of those 2 images could maybe have become one of those 6 that we've committed to production for. But with those 6 now in production, the 6 prints that we announced on Kickstarter, it's going to take me more than a half a year, nearly a year to get those things done. And it's expensive. I'm paying carvers now. I'm not doing all the carving myself. So for each of those new Heroes prints, I'm paying thousands of dollars to the carvers, our young carvers, to do this. So I can't take on any more new Ukiyo-e Heroes commitments until those 6 are out of the way. It's really bad timing. If he had come up with those earlier, they could have been incorporated into that campaign. But he didn't, and I didn't, and I can't now. So where they go in the future depends on how the 6 that we're committed to, how they pan out. Oh, last one. Is this the last group? Well, I'm not quite sure. I've lost count. We had 2020, 2020. Is that all the sepia, or is it still more? That's it, they're done. Okay, what's next? 9:19. It's just about quitting time, I shouldn't be starting a new color, I don't think. Let's get the stuff ready. Get the stuff ready, but there's no way I can continue on with the next color right now. I'm not at 9:19. Next one's going to be the back side. Yeah, because we're here, let's do a test then. I should have moistened it up in advance. We use the same brush and the same color, just richer. too much on there. Oh, the last known God, he's here. The gentleman who was here on Friday. Nick, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing? Nice to have met the two of you on Friday. Oops, it's not going to work, is it? Get these things moved around here. There we go. Good morning again, sir. After you left, I was thinking, it seems like a really lucky guy. Not lucky, I used that word wrongly, I'm sorry. Looks like you got your life worked out very nicely at least at this stage of life, For a job and a partner, it looks a very, very attractive life. Coming to life, there'll be one more color after this to give a few more leaves, some dirty green leaves. This is basically what it's going to look like. You can see then how it's kind of I can't say it's such an easy job, a print like this is really pretty straightforward work. Once the carving's done, once the test printing is done. Cynical viewpoint is it's just like printing money. Well, yeah, not quite that simple, but very happy with this. It's such a fun design. Don't know if you could hear it just now, but the bell downstairs rang, and I'm up on the third floor, of course, so there's no bell up here, but I heard it downstairs. So that must be Kawai-san. He's on duty today. He and I will be sharing print party duties. Nakamura-san was scheduled to come today, but she's not here. It's obviously somebody else is down sick, so. $30 bills, man. Printing $30 bills. It's not quite like that, that's not the profit in each one of these, but whatever, you get the idea. Yeah, if they were all as easy as this one, life would be much easier. Okay, what's the schedule now? This is Sunday. So I'll be doing a stream, of course, tomorrow morning as well. I'm guessing that tonight I'll be finishing this up tonight because there's not enough work now for a full stream. I've got like 20 minutes left on this and 20 minutes left on the next color. So that would leave me short. So what I'll do, I think I'll try and finish this up tonight. And tomorrow morning stream, we'll be back down at the carving bench, working on the color separations for one of the first 2 prints in next year's series, probably the first one. That'll be Monday, Tokyo time. Then Tuesday we'll be off. I'll be out in Ome again. There's so many things building up. I wasn't able to do them all last Tuesday. And then from Wednesday, I have no idea. I can't see that far in advance. So it'll probably be color block carving, I guess. I'm not sure. And what do we got left here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets left here for this morning's work. Oops, 2 sheets there, so I got 5. When you can zip, you know, just go through a stack in a few minutes. Once it's all ready and it's all going and the pigment's ready and the block is ready and the paper's in nice condition, it's really bang, 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 bang work, you know. There we have it. Okay, that's it for this morning. Glad to have a stream where there's some actual production going on. You know, you can see things happen. Boom, boom, boom. These streams quite often too much are just, you know, so slow and what's going on. And at least today we got something done. A key block finished and one color and another color. You know, this is how our work actually really proceeds. But you can't see that very often on these streams. So. All right, here we are. As I said, this is Sunday. We're done here. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. Probably not upstairs. I'll probably be downstairs doing some carving on color blocks. What do the newspapers? The newspapers are carefully moistened. They're all wet, soft, moistened newspapers. The paper stays in between them, and it also stays moist from beginning of the procedure right to the end. Thanks again, guys. See you tomorrow, one place or the other. Thanks again. Sorry about the disruption during the middle of the stream today. It was totally my fault. I got the Wi-Fi settings wrong. So try to get better next time. Thank you. Camera off. Mic off. And then stream. Thanks again. Bye-bye.